Hello and welcome back to Mr. Haas's Math Help videos. Today we're going to be doing lesson number 9. It's adding and subtracting decimals and a little bit of estimating. This is going to be useful to us in kind of figuring out whether our answers actually make sense. So what we're going to do, I'd like to start off with just kind of going to some of the stuff that's in the book, some of the problems that we've got. And what I'd like to do is take a look at one of the problems that they have where we're adding 3 different decimals. Okay, so the 3 decimals I'd like to add are 1.38, and then we're going to add 2.6, and to that we're going to add 3.45. And guess what? This is just like in our Big 15, very similar numbers. So this would be like problem number 1. So the thing that we're going to do is we are going to use that old upside down cross method, and we're going to make our cross like that, and we're going to put our decimals 1, 2, 3, and this one's for our answer, and I'm going to put in 1, and then the 3, and then the 8, and then I'm going to put in the 2 and the 6 here, and the 3, and then the 4 and the 5. Well, you might be saying, why didn't we slide this one all the way over? Well, you can't do that. You have to know that these are all ones, and the ones all have to be in the same column, and these are our tenths, and the tenths all have to line up, and the hundredths all have to line up. But wait a minute, we don't have anything here. Well, yes, we do. If there's nothing there, that nothing is the same thing as 0. So I'm just going to put a big old 0 in there. Does that change the value? No, not at all. It's still worth the same exact amount. So now all we have to do that we have our problem set up is add the columns. Well, 8 plus 5 is 13, so the 3 goes here. The 1 goes up into the tenths column. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 6 is 10, plus 4 is 14. The 4 goes here. The 1 goes up into the ones column. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4, plus 3 is 7. Okay, pardon me. That should be a 7. All right, so our answer is 7.43. Okay, so now the other thing we've got to do is subtraction. So what we're looking for now is you're only going to ever subtract one number from another. You're never going to have 3 of those at the same time. So I'm just going to take some numbers. It's not a problem in the book, but I'm going to take some of the numbers that they've got. And we have, by the way, let's take a look at estimating, since I said we'd do that first. So estimating is kind of looking at the numbers that you're given and seeing if your answer makes sense. Well, if we had a number, if we looked at them in the horizontal form here, we know that we've got a 1, we have 2, and we have 3. Well, 3 plus 2 is 5, and 1 is 6. Well, 7's pretty darn close. I mean, okay, this is half, and this is almost a half, so that means that, wow, we're going to get one more. So 7 definitely would be a good answer because that matches our estimates. So estimating, this would have been 7. So that would be a good answer. Now let's go back to that subtracting. So here's our subtracting. All right, so I'm going to just take 2 numbers. I'm going to have 4.05, right? And from that, I'm going to subtract 2.7. All right, so again, this is like problem 2 in the Big 15. We're just going to take and draw ourselves a nice upside down cross, and we're going to put 1 decimal point there, 1 decimal point there, and 1 down here for our answer. We're going to put the 4 here, 0 here, 5 there, 2 goes there, 7 goes here, and the 0 goes there, and this is what we're subtracting. Okay, remember that the first number in your problem is the one that goes up on top with subtraction. In addition, it really doesn't matter what order you put them in, but in subtraction it definitely does. This one has to be on top and this one has to be on the bottom. All right, well now they're all lined up. The only thing we might have to watch out for is we might have to do a little borrowing. But here's 5, take away 0, that's 5. Oh, I spoke too soon, here it is. We don't have enough here, so we're going to have to borrow from that 4. So that 4 becomes a 3. This now becomes a 10, right? It's no longer a 0, it's 10, we borrowed 1 over. So 10 take away 7 is 3. 3 take away 2 is 1. So our answer here is 1.35. Let's take a look at that estimating again. 4 take away 2, well, this is almost 3, really. Yeah, that'd be 4 take away 3 would be 1. Well, we got a little bit bigger than 1. So we're close. We're really pretty close. So make sure you do those estimatings before you are certain that you're done with your problem. So let's try something a little bit more with this. Let's try doing a little bit of doing something called perimeter. Now this we probably won't get to until we get into the later part of the year. Perimeter. Perimeter means to go around the outside. Okay, this is very useful in the real world if we are figuring out how big of a fence or how much siding we're going to need around a house, or even if we're going to be tying ribbon around packages, things like that. These, or how much paper we're going to have to go around a holiday package. These things are what this ability comes in helpful for. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to look for a perimeter of a triangle. And I'm going to make a really kind of a funny triangle just so that we can get used to working with some numbers that aren't so similar. Okay, so I'm going to make this really kind of pointy triangle. One like this. Okay, this side over here, this side I'm going to make 7.4. And this one over here, I'm going to make 5.283. I'm just pulling these numbers out. And this one over here, I'm going to make 0.6. And you know, they may not look it, but this is just to show you. Now, perimeter, what you're going to do, remember, is you are adding them all up. So what we've really got here is 7.4 plus that 5.283 plus 0.6. Okay, now we're going to put them in the vertical format again. All right, so here's our upside down cross. There's our 7.4 and then 5.283, and then we've got 0. Remember, you're always lining them up on those decimal points. 6. All right, we've got a couple of open spaces. No problem. We're just going to put those zeros in. Everything's going to be all right. Now they all line up nice and even. We're coming right down the old cross with our decimal points. Everything's aligned. We put on our answer decimal. 0 plus 3 plus 0, that's 3. 0 plus 8 plus 0, that's 8. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 6 is 12. The 2 goes here, the 1 goes up. 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 5 is 13. The 3 goes here, the 1 comes up and goes down. Now, estimating again. Our answer is 13.283. 7.5 roughly, plus 0.6, that would make that 8. And 8 plus that 5, that's 13. Look at that. Our answer is pretty close. All right. Aren't you glad you've been paying attention and doing those Big 15 problems and you're so good at them now? All right. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.